You're watching 5-Star Takes with Tony Deppen. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like it, and also watch my fucking podcast with these guys because it was great.
Hi, Shane.
Hello.
Hi, Isaac.
Holy shit, DJ, when'd you get here?
I don't know.
When did I get here?
I was just chilling in my living room. I look up and these two motherfuckers are here. What's up, guys?
The magic of the internet.
Oh, glad I have my pants on.
We're glad you have a shirt on.
Oh no, I'm much more glad he has his pants on.
Yeah, you know what? Me too. Me too.
It's like like a couple eagle eggs in their nest.
Honestly, early run it, DDJ.
We can do it. We can do whatever we want, man. If we want to hit the music, we hit the music. Oh, it's so good to be back.
I love doing this show with you guys.
I'm just stoked to be here. We're gonna start off. I guess I'm just gonna say it. Justin is still sick. He's actually ended up spending some time in the hospital, from what my understanding.
Yeah.
So he's still coming out of it. So guys, just bear with us. We got another announcement for next week. So probably the following week we will record that episode.
Yeah.
So our apologies, but we're gonna let the man get better. Sorry, not to step on that.
No. You're good, man, and stuff. I mean, you pretty much encapsulated. I actually talked with Justin over the last couple of days. He's, been very communicative. Just keeping in contact, keeping me updated, everything. It's just one of those things that things keep on happening. He said he's been sick. He said he spent a little time in the hospital. These summertime colds can get really downright nasty sometimes and stuff, and we want him at 100% because, we're all pretty sure that he's got some great stories that, like, you may have heard about his dad, but there's probably going to be a lot more stuff that you've never heard about his dad, which I think is the thing I'm most excited about. But before we get into this announcement for next week, guys, I got something's been on my mind.
Something's been on his mind and the back of his
water.
Yeah. Something's been on my mind since we we closed out last week. And you know what? Rather than me talk about it, I want to go to this video here real quick. So just Isaac, I'm gonna roll this video and then I got a question for you.
Sure. Let's do it.
So this one time at summer camp, do you have a shirt on?
Yeah.
You put a shirt on during you waited all this time to just now put on a shirt. Was it? I get it, Shane. He just wanted to show off he just wanted to show off his body to the audience.
Dude, I've been bleaching my nipples and I wanted it to pay off, man.
Yeah, show for the world, but hide from yourself.
I know, right?
Justin, again, if you're watching this, we promise we'll be on our best behavior next week with you.
Yeah, Isaac will be more than half awake, hopefully.
I'll be at least partially.
Oh, and now he's gone.
Disappeared.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, I thought he went to bed in there. I was like, oh, he seems much more.
I just wanted to make sure I had everything that I needed to answer this question properly.
Okay, so first off, did it pay off? Did bleaching the nipples pay off?
Oh, I ended up getting high and forgetting to do it.
Oh, okay. And then
I think, yeah.
So I gotta ask, out of all the shirts you probably have, why did you pick the one that you did?
Well, because I don't know anybody who was a fan of Such Good Shoot. So I'll like two Wade
And me.
Wade. Well,
I was.
You know, if you're one of our ones of fans, you might remember.
You might remember. I had a guest on one time named Barry Horowitz. He ended up sending me one of these after some autographs. It says "You're number ones." A lot of stars of David's on this. It says "Shalom" on the back. Isaac, you the man, Mr. Technical. He signed it a couple times. Anyway, you know how we are. We stay in touch. We're kind of a close knit community. And yeah, I reached out. I said, "What's up?" And Barry Horowitz said he wants to join us for an interview next week.
Wow.
So yeah, we got Barry Horowitz, a man who, in my opinion, should be in the Hall of Fame. I said this before. I'll say it again. It's not about wins and losses in wrestling. It's about what you do for performance. And if you're just gonna say only guys who were champions forever and shit should be in the Hall of Fame, that sort of doesn't do much credit to the guys like Barry who were just incredible wrestlers and were there to make all the guys who kind of looked like worked like shit but looked great as far as size become champions.
I'm definitely in agreement that he should be in the Hall of Fame. Guys like him and I mean, I'm just trying to think of some of the other Iron.
You know who comes to mind for me when
that?
I think of and it's a little different because of different era, but like an enhancement talent that made other wrestlers always look better than he looked, even though he was doing the work, was Dolph Ziggler. Is a guy like that, and he had a little bit of a run, but for the most part, he was the guy that
he
faced
was the good
guy.
hand.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
fuck, man, could he sell and fucking make a guy look like $1 million?
He's killing it in TNA right now.
Yeah, speaking of which, I wrote something about that on my thing, so we can segue to that in a second. But I wrote something about that down, Mr. Nemeth and TNA.
How funny would it have been, Isaac, if you would have went through like all of that trouble, like hinting at Barry Horowitz, and then it just would have been just incredible.
Oh God, I would have had
this time. He's like, where would he be at? He would be like in a tanning bed.
I'd have to, yeah, God, no, it'd be worse.
He'd be on the toilet.
Yeah, I mean,
that's already.
He's done that. Yeah,
yeah, been there, done that.
You'd be in like the fucking meth clinic or whatever.
It'd be just incredible interview number 2. Waiting
in line at the DMV. Like, it's like awful, man. It's like truly awful.
Like going through the drive-through.
Yeah, if you're like, hold on a second. Let me get
I get a 20-piece McNugget, please.
Yeah, I got the app. Yeah, pays.
I've got an app order.
And he's paying
20 white castles.
Paying with quarters. And
could you give me your gimmick name? Just Incredible. Like that's what he puts into the Taco Bell app.
He's using the $15 that we send him as a booking fee to get Taco Bell.
Yeah,
man. I got it on my Cash App, man. Can I do Cash App?
Yeah, I forgot I had it. It was on PayPal. I don't really know where it came from.
Oh my God,
that'd be so good.
Oh shit! But yes, Barry, man, we got Barry coming up. But yeah, so we're excited about that. But I do want to talk about TNA, and I do want to talk about Nic Nemeth because Nic Nemeth, who was it who came in? Fucking JBL.
Yeah, who's everywhere all of a sudden.
Yeah, JBL is the new fucking Matt Cardona.
Yeah, I mean he's down in Mexico. He's in TNA. He, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, showed up on GCW.
It's
dude.
awesome.
And yeah, it's the best because he's just doing the things that JBL is good at, which is the clothesline from hell. That's all he's doing. He's hitting
either
people
really
with it.
hateable.
He's just hitting people with it over and over again and then leaving. Yeah,
Awesome.
dude.
It's awesome. It's so perfect.
And it's funny. I've seen more than one person talk. They're like, he's probably just in between contracts with WWE, and they're like sending him out on a little scout run. He'll be back in 2 months, and
yeah, it's definitely possible. That's a really interesting take on it.
I didn't think about it, but that's I like that.
Although, yeah. I mean, the reality is, if they want to scout the indies, they can scout the indies.
Oh, no, for sure. But
that is an interesting idea. And I saw, speaking of indies, I saw Del Rio speaking up and defending Vince McMahon.
Oh, no.
Why am I not shocked by that?
It's interesting. Huh?
You know who I saw have a relatively disappointing take on the situation relative to the human is Mick Foley.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say.
And that's not to say that I think Mick Foley, he didn't like crash and burn. I've seen a lot of people, I think, that are way overreacting to this, and they're like, it's really sad when your idols, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I think, unless I didn't get the whole quote from him, that pretty much all he said is like, he's reserving judgment, up until, all facts are presented. But I still saw it, and
it wasn't even that. What he basically said, and I don't, because of the it's easy for fans to and people on the outside of this to throw shade at people who want to defend Vince McMahon. It's easy for us to be like, fuck Vince McMahon, because we don't have any fucking, the personal investment we have is nothing. He didn't do anything for us, right?
Yeah.
Mick Foley basically said, he's like, whatever happened. I'm going to choose to remember the Vince McMahon and think about Vince McMahon as somebody who did right by me and treated me well. And I get that, I have friends who've done fucking a lot of questionable and stupid shit, and some I don't talk to, and who I think are pieces of shit. At the same time, I'd rather remember them as being fucking the good people I knew when they were being good people, than fucking being like, well, I'm only going to think of them in this light. It doesn't change the fact that I'm not going to spend time with them or fucking give them my energy now. But I'm also not going to be like, well, the good person who I knew doesn't exist because fucking they made mistakes. And that's not to say that Vince McMahon's mistakes are forgivable, because they're not. Fuck that guy. But I get Mick Foley saying, hey, this is a guy who fucking created, gave me the opportunity to live the dream of a lifetime.
No. And I'm in no way crucifying Mick Foley.
And I know
saying what he said. It was just one of those things that I saw, and I just went, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And
and I agree. I had the same reaction, but I also saw that
you know me better than a lot of people. Yeah. I like to look at people in totality of all work and go from there. But it's one of those things that I just
you still love that guy.
Yeah, man, him and all of his wrongdoings, his whole career. Did you know that, DDJ?
Dude,
I'm sorry.
That Zack Sabre Jr. is just a piece of garbage.
He's done so many.
Isaac.
He's done so many Me Too's, man. You just haven't heard about him yet.
So when the whole the whole Me Too thing when it was at its peak in 2020,
the British when
all of the British people, we're getting got. For some reason, Isaac got it up his ass that Zack Sabre Jr. is one of them. I mean, and for a year and a half straight, I would bring up Zack Sabre Jr. and he would be like, "Oh yeah, that fuck that got canceled," and I'm like, "No, dude. He's done nothing that we know at least."
I'm just glad you didn't stop up. I'm just glad you didn't stop when you said Isaac got it up his ass.
Probably not from Zack Sabre Jr., but in other walks, entirely possible.
Well, here's the thing. I'm
like,
kind
take
of,
the shirt off.
I'm kind of a dumb guy sometimes, and and rather than admit that I didn't know the difference between Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr., I just kept flogging the horse, man. After it was well dead.
Wait,
So
what
yeah,
did you say at the beginning of that? You're kind of a what?
I'm kind of a dumb guy sometimes. I'm kind of an idiot. Hey, scoreboard, man!
Wow.
Win for the team. Hell yeah, bro! Thank you. Aw, that's so nice.
So here, since we're already kind of off the rails a little bit, I wanted to tell Isaac this story in person just because I know he would find it funny. So I went and I saw a show last night.
Oh yeah, you saw Clutch, dude. I'm so stoked for you, man.
Yeah, and they ripped, and dude, in the main, like, I can't even say main support, like the co-headliner on the tour played for an hour and 45 minutes, and I was honor chasm status. But
I thought it was the name of the band for a second. I was
oh god, no. No. The band's called Rival Sons. But anyway, so like Clutch, a bunch of big dudes. You know what I mean? Like you listen to that band and you're like, this is a 300 plus pounder type show.
They sound like dwarves playing music, man. That's great.
But anyways, so like they're not like a big mosh band, but there were some drunk big men who were yeah. So at one point, one of them got shoved into me and I was not braced or ready for it at all. So he's huge, right? So his butt is at my ribs. So he collides with me. And like, like in Minecraft, when you jump off the mountain and you land, like you get like the crack sound and then
I've never played Minecraft.
I made that exact noise. I went, oof. And I just started cracking up immediately. And I looked at my buddy and I said, did you hear that? He said, you went.
I think you just broke Isaac.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, dude.
Yeah, I knew he would get a kick out of that one. I was like, man, I really wish I could have been. I really wish I could have been mic'd up for that because it was just a perfect noise.
Oh shit, that's really good.
Oh man, but no, I want to go back to what the Isaac talking about TNA and stuff, and
yeah,
man, I love the fact that this partnership between TNA and NXT has no signs of slowing down. I mean, it's if anything, it's getting bigger. I mean, we had Hammerstone on NXT again this week.
Dude, and fucking he looked fucking great, man. That I was really surprised because I've been following him on the Facebook for a while, just randomly.
Hammerstone,
right? Yeah, and then like all of a sudden he's on fucking NXT, and he's got the look. His promo is not great. He's not the best talker.
Mm-hmm.
He's not super convincing yet, but goddamn, if he had a manager who could talk.
Well, see, that was one of the things that I really liked about Hammerstone back when he was in MLW as part of the Dynasty with Richard Holiday and MJF. And this was obviously before MJF went to AEW full time because MJF was that mouthpiece. Like Hammerstone was like the big, muscled enforcer, the heavy and
great,
stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I think I would love to see. I would honestly, if they could find someone like that for him in WWE, great. But you know what? I would not be object at all to seeing Hammerstone go to the AEW and like pick up that role with MJF.
Yeah. AEW, man.
But God,
we're not going there. I think
we're going there late. We're gonna go there eventually because I got a take on.
Well, let's go there then. Let's fucking go there.
You know what? I'm going there.
Go there.
This bookie, I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, I'm in. But to give this match a 2-week build and their accent, and the whole thing around this match is if Bryan Danielson is cleared to wrestle.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Didn't he just give Homeboy like fucking like 4 straight unprotected headshots to the fucking ring post?
No, that was Ring of Honor, like when they were
Nigel.
Yeah, that was. Oh. Yeah, did you see how buff Nigel was, man?
I don't know, dude. I just saw blood coming out and saying, "Well, gosh, that's not very safe."
Well, it's
Yeah,
just and,
you know
and
that
it's
was like 2002 or whenever
and,
they. Sorry,
yeah,
did you
I
say
think it
go
was
ahead?
like 2004, 2005, or it's I'd have to go back. I'll go back and look here in just a little bit. But I want to get this other thing. Like, and another thing that really just puzzled me about the build to this match is that originally it was supposed to be Danielson versus Darby Allin for the AEW title because Darby had won I think it was that 2-ring battle royal on Rampage Royal or whatever they called it and stuff.
Yeah,
Basically, like, a 2-ring Royal Rumble and stuff to win the shot. But then, they do the angle at All Out where after Danielson beats Jack Perry, Moxley puts the bag over his head, and then, and like they haven't even really addressed the bag yet. Like there's been no addressing of it, like, and then they're going to say, oh, yeah, the match is off. Moxley's going to wrestle Darby for the title shot because Danielson's not cleared to wrestle or whatever. And then next thing you know, I think it was later on that show, Nigel comes out and says he's wrestling Danielson at that show. And it's just like
I mean it's.
I'm a forgiving person. Like I'm a glass half full kind of guy, but God damn, this reeks of 2019, 2018, 2019 WWE crap.
I mean, Tony Khan booked himself into a corner.
It reminds me of fucking Hornswoggle being the anonymous fucking Raw GM kind of thing.
That was even worse than Hornswoggle being
because the anonymous
Vince McMahon's illegitimate son.
The anonymous GM thing was probably one of like the worst of those things of all time, where it was like they created this thing and had no payoff for it at all.
Yeah, it was just like a random Raw reunion or something like that.
Well, they had given up. They had just given up on it after someone smashed up the laptop. But then they also did the same thing with CM Punk and Triple H with Kevin Nash and the cell phone and who's texting who, and they never fucking go anywhere with that. They do all these stupid things and then they don't have a fucking outcome for it.
It's like they don't follow it up. Yeah. Like I said, and it's just it's just like they're for a company to start to be as good as AEW was when it first started. It's just, man, I say this all the time. It's like Freaky Friday. It's like AEW and WWE switched bodies.
Well, I think the reason why AEW was so good when it first started is literally because as far as storylines and things, there were none. The only storytelling, for the first little bit that happened was on Being the Elite. And then obviously when Dynamite first started, that was kind of the hard set of getting into these characters. But they were also those shows felt more like indie shows than what the product does now, when the product is definitely closer to WWE. I mean, just think about Dynamite when it first started. It would be literally an hour in 15 minutes of wrestling, including the commercials in that, in that 2 hour
block. I love. Don't get me wrong, I love, a good story and stuff, but it's just everything they're doing just reeks of that, like you said, 2018, 2019 WWE right now.
They realize that storylines are what puts butts in seats. I mean, that's the bottom line. Is you have to have.
And they are capable of telling those stories. Like the stuff with Swerve and Hangman was great. The build up to Danielson and Swerve at All In, they can do it, but it just seems like it's they choose not to, just hot shot these matches.
I don't necessarily even think it's they choose not to, with how much freedom they give the folks as far as creative and promos and all of that. Whenever AEW does anything great, it's a constant wonder to me of who called that shot. You know what I mean? Is it the wrestlers? Did the producer of this segment or of this angle, you know what I mean? Did they nurse this to being what it is? Or did Tony and, his kind of upper, management, was this a good, move by them? I mean, it's just so hard to tell.
I mean, the other thing to remember too is that when we're talking about the early days of AEW, we're talking about it in comparison to the product of WWE at the time.
which was horrible.
Horrible. I mean, really bad. So anything fresh, anything new that wasn't that wasn't
That's
just
true.
that just wasn't like 3 hours where it was 2.5 hours of either commercial breaks or fucking vignettes or replays or fucking bullshit and no actual wrestling, to a show that was majority wrestling. Wrestling fans dug it. Then Vince got kicked out and fucking everything changed. I mean, that's the catalyst, right? That's the moment. And before and after, you can check and you can look. That's when everything started changing, because WWE was under new management, and like the sale, like even him coming back and selling it, like that was all part of it, and that's the way I see it, is that WWE has gotten so good that you can see all the flaws in AEW now, and it's
Okay.
because
I get. I'll give you that.
because if you listen, and Shane will tell you, if you listen to Jim Cornette's been saying the same thing since day one. That like they can put on all these fucking matches, they can do all this flippy shit, but they, like, if nobody knows what the fuck is happening, which nobody ever does, you can't turn on an AEW show halfway through and understand what's going on. You have to have been watching, and WWE isn't like that, and I think that he's got a point about that, and I think he always had. And,
You're
and
right. I will give you that. I'll give you that.
But that's to that. Saying that, like, the show's also gotten worse as you have more big names coming in who have more control and more power, and and Tony doesn't know how to juggle it all, and I think that's becoming more and more evident.
I think there's also, just as a whole, I think there's been just a mindset flip from like the locker room, because if you look at those early stages of Dynamite, I mean, there really was a gradient of talent. You had your upper echelon guys, you know what I mean, that were there from the start or came early. And then you had, your kind of mid-level who are like, wow, I get to wrestle on national television. You know what I mean? Like this is, I went from 3 months ago, working the Knights of
people.
Working Knights of Columbus in Georgia, and now I'm getting featured. And then you have, like the hardcore guys and the kind of jobbers, you know what I mean, who are like, wow, this is a great opportunity. I mean, like one of the first Dynamites was like Joey Janela versus Darby Allin versus Jimmy Havoc.
That was actually, I believe that was actually the first All Out.
I mean, what? Okay. I mean,
and I was there for that match.
Was that the Cracker Barrel? The Cracker Barrel of Doom?
Yeah, that's where Darby did the coffin drop onto the Cracker Barrel. I was there for that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure those dudes are like, wow, we get to do what we're doing anyways, but have like an actual budget for it. You know what I mean? And like have the production and all of that. And like since then, as the company's become more and more ingrained, you have all of these people that are like, wow, like, I need to make, money while I'm here. You know what I mean? And I need to like protect myself and my investments. You know what I mean? And
yeah, it gets complicated. I get that.
So actually, while Shane was talking, and this is something I've been thinking about for a while, because I heard this on Busted Open, and I kind of want to play a little game with you guys here. So we talked about, WWE and AEW, and there's especially the last few years, the going in between and stuff is seen guys that we've seen on WWE, now AEW, guys that are in AEW are back in WWE. And I kind of want to ask you guys to play this little game called Stock Up or Down. And basically I'm going to give you guys, I'm just going to do, we'll do two guys that went from the WWE to AEW and whether their stock has risen, stayed the same, or gone down. And then two people that have gone from AEW to WWE.
Let's fucking go.
All right, so first one here, this is going to be someone that went from AEW to WWE, technically NXT, and that's All Ego Ethan Page. I'm with you on that. Stock has gone way up.
Oh, yeah.
I just think it depends on how you look at it. You know what I mean? I would say his stock has definitely gone up, but I can see where somebody would go, hey, like, through portions of his run, he was featured pretty prominently on TV. He was never the guy, but, now he's in like a developmental brand. But yeah, I think going to NXT would put most people's stock up.
Yeah, well, and I think that was a good move for him to go to NXT. I mean, and he'll eventually find his way to that main roster. He's too talented to not be a part of that main roster. All right, so then I'm gonna give you another one here that's gone from AEW to actually, you know what? We're gonna stick with the NXT. I'm gonna give you one that's gone from AEW to NXT, and that's the former Brian Pillman Jr., aka Lexus King.
I would say that he's remained around the same level.
Mm-hmm.
I think his stock was high coming in because of his name, but I don't think it went anywhere. Like I think it dropped before he went to fucking NXT. Like it might have risen a little bit when he at the news of him going there,
Okay.
but I don't think it's gone up since he's gone there. I mean, he's been fine, but he hasn't. I mean,
Okay.
he's been a good character, but I don't know if he's like anything to write home about.
Yeah, you know what? And I kind of like that there because, like I said, when he initially got there, like I thought it was definitely going up just because the way he was already being presented. But yeah, he's kind of cooled off a little bit, and I think, like you said, he's at that same level he was in AEW. So I'm gonna go kind of see that his has stayed the same. All right, so going from guys that have gone from WWE to AEW, I'm gonna give you an first off, I'm gonna do an OG, and that's John Moxley.
I mean, I would say that his stock has definitely gone up. I mean, just as far as like his character work and like, I don't think there's a chance that Dean Ambrose would have stayed at the level that John Moxley has. Like, I'm sure Dean Ambrose would never have slipped down the card. You know what I mean? Like, Dean Ambrose would probably never become like a straight up mid carder. But I mean, John Moxley at this
Not
point
under
is.
Triple H.
I mean, but John Moxley is one of those guys that I think could win the AEW championship at any point in time, and people would go, okay, you know, like it just he's kind of like Seth is now for WWE. You know what I mean? Where you know if they need to hit the panic switch,
Yeah.
you know he's there and it you know he's booked strongly enough that it always makes sense.
I would say his stock has gone up since the end of his WWE run, but it's never peaked as high as it was during his Shield run.
You know what? I will agree with you on the fact that I think his stock has gone up, but I will say this: when he was the AEW champion, I think his peak, especially with his AEW championship run, I think honestly, I'm going to go out on a bit of a limb, and this might be my 5-star hot take because I haven't had one of those in a while. Honestly, I think that was even. I thought that was even more of a peak than his run with the Shield, because in his run with the Shield, he was kind of like the guy that like that it wasn't about like they wanted it to be about Roman. You know, Seth was the one that broke, you know, when the Shield broke away. Like Seth was the one that kind of took off. You know, Roman eventually got there, and I mean, and this is before you know the tribal chief and the bloodline stuff. Mox, I don't think as Dean Ambrose panned out the way that I think a lot of people had thought he would. But I mean, when he in AEW, he literally carried that company for almost, I want to say maybe a year, almost two, but especially during the whole stuff that went down with Punk and the Elite, like and stuff. And to me, he was the man then and stuff. And I don't think you could ever say at any point during his WWE run that he was the guy in WWE. But you've been able to say it multiple times, like he was whatever the guy in AEW. So that's why I think peak Mox was bigger than peak Dean Ambrose as the Shield.
Oh, interesting.
And then
I agree with you, DJ.
Huh?
Oh.
I just said I agree with you, buddy.
Thank you, sir. And then my last one before we kind of get to something else here is, and this is someone who's relatively new to AEW, Ricochet.
I mean, I feel like it's too early to tell
Okay.
him. I mean, he's only been with the company a month. I mean, Ricochet's stock, I don't think is ever going to go down up until he has to slow down as a wrestler. I feel like he is somebody that, will never go below a certain. He's kind of like Rey Mysterio.
Will it ever go up higher though?
I'm sure it could. I mean, again, the bottom line is all they have to do is book him to win a championship. You know what I mean? Of any variety, and his stock will go up because WWE is. I would say even with Triple H, he was. I don't think he's ever going to win a belt. Maybe a tag title at some point, but
the speed championship.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't exist.
It's not a real belt. Yeah. Well, speaking of all of that, I want to talk about Miro because he has announced that he's asked for his release from AEW.
And how many times has he done this? Didn't he request his release like a year and a half ago?
Probably, and he probably didn't get it. He's probably requesting again.
No, because they brought him back for whatever they were going to do, that Meat Madness match with all the big muscular guys and stuff, and that and then he disappeared again. And God, they really screwed him over in AEW.
I mean, the prime years of his career are just gone for no reason, apparently. Do you think you think that if he gets his release, he goes back to WWE?
I think he does.
Do you think that's why he's asking for his release?
I just think he wants to perform, to be honest.
I think he goes the Matt Cardona route.
That's what I was going to say is I bet you he does the indie circuit for like a year. I mean, because let's be honest, he's not been on television. You know what I mean? It's not a situation where, he's been like dominating the other guys. I mean, he just hasn't been there
at all.
Spend a year, destroy everybody, win a bunch of titles, make a lot of money. And then, when you've proven yourself, come back.
Mm-hmm. I could definitely, if he gets his release, I don't think we see him like right there. I think it's he does the Matt Cardona route. He goes out there. You'll see him in GCW, and
that'd be awesome.
I mean, you know what? Honestly, I would love to see him maybe go do a run in New Japan. I think he would make a killing over in Japan.
Yeah, New Japan, man, since AEW took off, has not had as much drawing power with those kind of stars.
They've also just had a talent vacuum. AEW has, I mean, think about AEW has taken Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, and Okada,
and the Young Bucks.
But I'm just talking strict heavyweight championship.
Okay.
Firepower there. I mean, that's maybe the three biggest stars in New Japan.
Is it Naito wrestling with them too?
No, Naito's as far as I know, I believe he's still the IWGP.
Yeah.
Did he just have a match on one of the pay-per-views? Is that it?
Yeah, he wrestled Moxley at the last Forbidden Door.
Okay.
He went back to, because I was there in Chicago when Mox beat Naito for the IWGP Championship.
That's right.
And at Forbidden Door, Naito got it back from Mox.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering. I think he goes there up, but I also wonder if he's been in touch with WWE and could come back with a monster fucking heel push from Triple H is fucking.
But where is their room?
Talking about
SmackDown's about to add an hour, so
I was about to say they're about to go to 3-hour SmackDowns.
Because there's not room on Raw. There is no room for Rusev on Raw.
Nope. I don't know, just a thought. But speaking of GCW, let me read this out. GCW sent out this tweet today. GCW speaks about Zilla Fatu's future in the company. He said Zilla Fatu will not be appearing on tonight's GCW event in Philadelphia or any GCW shows for the foreseeable future. We tried our best to avoid this situation, but we have reached an impasse. We wish him the best. Which is interesting, which makes me wonder if fucking Zilla's going to WWE.
I mean, he has to be, and unless there's, something weird has happened and there's, help me.
Irreparable. Irreparable. It's irreparable.
Yeah, really, really bad heat, between him and Brett or something. But I mean, yeah, to me that sounds like a call from Connecticut.
Irreconcilable differences.
There you go. Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
You were talking about.
That's 100% what I was looking for.
Okay.
There you go. I had a different one.
Yeah, but they probably said, "Hey, we don't want you doing a head first dive through a pane of glass and taking 3 to 7 unprotected headshots.
No chair bridges. No table bridges.
No door bridges.
No door bridges. No light tubes.
Please, God, no light tubes.
No light tubes for him.
Did y'all see the video of that guy from Mexico?
With the one light tube?
That got the light tube that went through his arm?
Was it the single light tube?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the skinny one. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he did when Nick Gage died, legitimately, he did the same bump.
The same fucking shit.
Yeah, where he went through. But yeah, this dude, did you see it, Isaac?
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, the skinny. I mean, went right through his arm. Like I had to do a double take because I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I watched it again, and I went, "Oh,
yeah, it's bad, real bad." Yeah, people shouldn't be using light tubes for wrestling. I mean,
no, you stop.
It's so stupid. It's always been stupid.
No, light tubes are cool, man.
Light tubes are not cool. Bring back the flimsy trash cans.
Yeah, but
and the paper thin lids.
Yeah, but how else is going to be copious amounts of blood everywhere?
Or bring back snakes or something. That was pretty cool. Snakes as a weapon. That was dope.
I mean, or they.
You know what else? You know what else about snakes is dope?
When they're on planes.
God damn it!
I'm tired of motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
God, that movie was awesome.
Yeah.
What I really like is that the censored version is that I'm tired of these planes on this Monday to Friday flight or something like that.
I've seen that before.
I've not seen that.
It's
I bullied Wade into letting me watch that when I was like 7. And he didn't know that there was a scene of the girl getting banged in the bathroom. He freaked out. He was like,
"Oh yeah, you can't see that, but the snakes eating people's eyeballs is dope."
Yeah.
Awkward.
Hey, you guys know what? You guys know what else is dope?
What?
Demon Copperhead.
Oh, you know what I think is really dope is Waukesha Sports Emporium and Trading
Place. Yeah, so we're gonna take a little quick commercial break because I need to run upstairs and get something to drink. So we'll be right back.
Oh man, you didn't stock your fridge.
I did not because I didn't think who I was gonna be. I thought I would, but my throat's starting to get dry.
You get it. All right, man. We're gonna time you.
All right. We'll be right back, guys.
Run, DDJ.
Run, man. Run. You got this.
Hey there, it's DDJ from 5 Star Takes, and when I come up to Milwaukee to see the Brewers play, there's one place that I always make it a point to stop at. Waukesha Sports Cards. Come on, let's go inside and check out what they got. Thank you. Thank you. Be sure to stop by one of their 3 locations or go to www.waukeshawsportscards.com.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Oh, much better.
What are you drinking? Is that cider or sweet tea?
Sweet tea and lemonade.
Oh Jesus, man.
If you just put lemonade in it, you could
Milo's.
you
Sweet
could
tea and lemonade.
steal Piss Jug Mike's gimmick. Man. Rest in peace.
Piss
The
jugs.
greatest.
Piss Jug Mike. That is totally an independent wrestling name.
Oh, no. The fan. You know the picture of the dude, like the big guy who flashed Matt Cardona on the way to the ring, like he was getting pushed by Chelsea. He was at the Showboat. Have you never seen it?
I don't think I've seen it. I think I've heard of it now that you mention it, but
oh, it's legendary. He just like carried around this big like 2-gallon jug. It was filled with lemonade. I think they called him Piss Jug Mike. And
yeah.
He passed away like a year and a half ago now or something. But God, that
makes
picture.
me think of Ray from Trailer Park Boys.
But no, Waukesha Sports
fucking
Cards.
hawking piss jugs all over the trailer park.
I'll actually be, by the time this episode drops, it'll be Saturday morning, and I'll actually be on my way up there with my nephew Adonis for a couple of autograph signings, and then we're gonna go to the movie. We're gonna go see a documentary about the 1982 Brewers while we're up there too, because they just released something. They just released a documentary called Just a Bit Outside, it's a story about the 1982 Brewers, and it's only playing in select theaters up in the Wisconsin area. So while we're up there, we're going to go check it out before heading back. So
nice. Good time with the fam.
Oh yeah. And it's been, and you guys know, and I mean, I'm not going to go into too many details here, but it's been a bit of a rough week for my nephew and his brother and sister and stuff.
Yeah.
So
shout out to them, man. Send them a lot of love.
Yeah, thank you and stuff.
Hopefully
so
that'll bring them a little little reprieve.
Yeah, and stuff. So but yeah, guys, we want to send out well wishes to Justin, who will be on with us in a couple weeks, because he's been battling some health issues and stuff, but he's told me he's finally getting better and on the mend and stuff. So we can't wait to have him on in a couple weeks. Obviously, Isaac announced that Barry Horowitz will be joining us next week and stuff. But
that's right, man. Next week we got Barry, which is very exciting.
Yeah. So, and then like I said, Justin, and then we're and stuff. So, but guys, it's getting late. Do we got anything else we want to talk about while we're at it?
We gotta do one more segment at least.
Not gonna happen for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we gotta do this. We gotta do this now, man.
We should have done 3, honestly, just to.
Holy shit, 3! Well, I got one that's picked out.
He's got one that gave me time. If you would have,
you can't be pulling this. DDA's got to go through the files, man.
Yeah, so
he's got files, bro. He's got files upon files of these pictures somewhere,
and I got files upon those files.
He's got a lot of files. But yeah, I think we should play the theme song.
It's time for Pics or It Didn't Happen with Isaac. Hey, that's me.
Yeah, that's me.
Wait a minute. No, real quick before we get into this. Technically, that's not music. That's just a clip. That's not music.
Yeah, it's the theme song. Sometimes theme songs can be just words, man.
But it's not a song. There was no singing.
Speaking is singing. I'm gonna speak a song right now.
Bro,
thank you for being a friend.
Vermont.
Travel down that road and back again. When times get tough, you're a friend and a confidant.
What's the Isaac? Real quick, what's the like the state food of Vermont?
Maple syrup.
No? Is that the actual?
See, I mean that like would be like the number one thing. Probably cheeses are very big here. Beer,
really? Cheese is big in Vermont.
Wait, you didn't know that?
No.
Vermont has more cheese production, I think, that like per capita, like producers per capita than anywhere else in the world.
Okay, so you did say about the state food of Vermont flavored or whatever being maple.
Yeah, I mean that's just off the top of my head. Whatever, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
Look
what
that up.
What's the state fruit?
the straight fruit is. Probably an apple of some sort would be my guess.
What's the
Yeah.
state pie? And then what's the law that comes with the pie?
Oh, the state pie is the apple pie, and the law is that you have to serve it with either a scoop of ice cream or a slice of sharp cheddar cheese,
Or
or you can have some. I think it's like a glass of milk or whipped cream or something.
Man,
what's the state vegetable?
The state vegetable? We have a vegetable.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
It's
I
some real.
are you looking this up too, Shane?
yeah, I don't know, dude.
Real
Kohlrabi,
Vermont shit. It's some old man.
like fucking Brussels sprouts or kohlrabi or something. I have
No,
no
it's
idea.
a gill feather turnip.
Oh, that would make sense. A fucking turnip. Yeah. No, I have
Yeah,
no
yeah, but
idea.
but that was only cited in the year 2015. It's a relatively new.
Yeah, fuck that. That's bullshit. Nobody
Yeah,
gives a fuck.
not
Nobody.
vegetable.
I've never heard a single Vermonter being like, you know what I fucking love is these fucking gilfoil fucking turnips, bro.
I've never heard of a gill. I've never
Yeah.
even heard the term
No,
gill feather
it's
turnip until just
fucking
now.
bullshit.
The gill feather turnip
Nobody
is
in
a
Vermont.
rutabaga turnip hybrid, a root vegetable that is normally harvested after the first hard frost of the season. It is white rather than yellow inside and is sweet and creamy, not having the bite of a normal turnip. And then there's a picture of them.
They look great, but nobody knows what they are in Vermont. I mean, I'm sure there's some fucking hippies who are like, "Hey, man, I got a fucking."
Do you think Mullet
sweet
Man would
hybrid. No,
know? Okay.
no.
Right,
I
picture
am
didn't happen.
confident. I am confident he didn't know. I thought we were still quizzing me on fucking Vermont, man. I'm doing
No,
good.
no. We'll figure out something fun to quiz you out on Vermont in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's good. Picture It Didn't Happen was I was curious about not so much a wrestler, but another on-air talent, and Jim Ross, good old JR. he looks
on.
Dennis, I'm glad that you were making up for his enthusiasm there.
He looks so
Okay,
miserable.
So you would think that on the
shit.
but you would think that on the picture, but honestly, it was a really cool experience with him. Because it's like, you go up to him, shake his hand and stuff, talk to him. Like, obviously he's getting up there in age. He's not in the best of health.
Yeah,
I mean, the poor guy's had 2 bouts of Bell's palsy, skin cancer. He's dealt with a lot. So, that didn't bother me. I was pleasantly surprised though. Like, I went up to him, I was talking with him, and stuff. And, he's going to sign my picture. He's like, hey, come around, sit down with me and stuff. And it's like we were having a little conversation as he was signing the photos. So Jim Ross, dude, like it may not look it obvious the way he looked in the pic, but it may not indicate so. But it was a really cool experience getting to meet him. He was very, very nice.
Well, Dennis, like I'm sure that like you probably get the best experience you can with most of these wrestlers because like your energy, like I'm sure to them it's very clear that you're in it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? And like you're not going to immediately like sell it, try to sell it for double online, or you're not going to ask them some dumbass, you know what I mean, like questions. They're like, this dude is just a big fan. You know what I mean? I'm sure it puts them at ease.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. Like I try, and it's the same thing when I go up to Waukesha Sports Cards and I meet, the Brewers play, and basically any interaction I have with, an athlete, a celebrity or something, they're people, they're men and women. They're human, just like you and I.
Yeah, I mean, like the last time Isaac met a wrestler, they pulled a gun on him. So,
wait what?
Oh,
yeah, tell
shit.
him about it.
Oh man, so was outside in Hartford, Connecticut, and I was just chilling, waiting for Alexa Bliss in the alley behind the wrestling shows, like one does. And so maybe I got a little handsy when she came out, and maybe Dexter Loomis had to pull a gun on me. I don't fucking know, man. Shit happens. It's Connecticut. It's a weird place, man. That's why I don't go there often. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Did I get a gun pulled on me sometime?
Oh no! I mean, I just I'd float one out there, and
you were basically bullshitting him, Shane, and he just kind of went along with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I also just I mean, he's a man who's been known to get up to some nefarious deeds every once in a while. I didn't know if maybe I'd unlock a he's like, oh shit, man.
No, I haven't had a gun pulled on me probably since I was, I don't know, like 9 or 10 years old.
Oh wow!
What the fuck did you do at 9 or 10 years old to get a gun pulled on you?
I guess it's probably fine to tell this story now. I think I was in the 5th grade.
I'm going to pause you right here. I mean, is this something we should tell on the show, or should we say, hey, I've been Shane, you've been Isaac, and that's been Dennis? And then we can hit the end, and then you can tell us off camera where DDJ won't have to work extra.
It's up to you.
You know what? Hey, me not have to work extra. I'm down with that.
I could just tell by the way he was giggling, and the fact he second guessed himself. Well, the fact that he stopped and went, well, I guess this is okay to say.
There's the funny thing is that it was probably one of the last. I think it was the last time I had a gun pulled out, but it wasn't the first time. But it might have been the last. So.
Legends of the Ring Sting, man. This is a great figure, old school figure. Looks great. It's Sting! Old school Sting from WCW. Guys, you know us, 3/4 of the Shooting Shit team, and we're here with a listener just like you guys. This is Jimmy from Super Powers Comics.
My friend of almost 20 years. He's known him since you were 12.
If you know people in Chicago, you probably know Dennis because he knows half the town, of course. But shooters, if you need action figures, comics, wrestling memorabilia, we just showed you Sting. Superpowers Comics will put up their QR code so you can get a good look at everything they have coming. Give it a shot, shooters. Get your superpowers on and get your comics from our friend Jimmy, who listens just like you.
Attention wrestling fans and fans of Shootin' Shit podcasts. You can now be one of the cool kids by going to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy the official Shootin' Shit t-shirt. Buy it now and be there at ringside.
This episode and all episodes of 5 Star Takes are now available on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@5 Takes. Be sure to like and subscribe. Get all of your 5 Star Takes news and updates by going to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/SHOOTINSHT. And as always, thanks for watching.